Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. Getting the win on Saturday felt great. I'm really proud of our guys. I'm proud of our coaches for keeping everybody locked in. I'm proud of our leadership for the way they led last week. I thought it was outstanding to be able to respond that way, to be able to come out here and practice the way you need to be able to lock into the plan and to be able to believe in each other to get that win. It was just awesome to see, doing that against the defending Conference USA champions, no less. So I'm really proud of this football team and proud of the direction that we're going and proud of the momentum they are creating. After watching film, I saw a lot of really good things. Obviously, I thought our sideline had even more juice than it had the prior week. I think these guys are loving pulling for each other and loving playing for each other. I thought the play or the momentum that we needed early in the game was Juma Otaviano's kickoff return, and it got us out to midfield. We don't have a great first series on offense, and then our punter gets roughed or run into. So we had the opportunity to go for it on 4th and 2. Wiley throws a great pass on a Q8, and now we're rolling. And now we put that ball in the box. The first play that they had, Gabe Taylor punches the ball out. We recover it, and offense goes and puts another drive in the box. So incredibly proud of how we started the game. And then obviously it took everybody playing pretty well for 4 quarters to find a way to win that game down to the last second. And so, again, at the end of the day, really proud of what our team did and proud of the direction. Big shout out to Wiley Green and Gabe Taylor for earning Conference USA Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week. Proud of the way those guys played. Proud of how they led our football team. And, I think it really goes back to what we've been preaching. It really goes back to what we've been talking about. And a couple things. Number one, we needed confidence. And what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I thought these guys did a great job making it happen. And the other thing that I'm really proud of is I've been telling you guys that we're a really good football team, and we failed to show it a lot of Saturdays. So I'm glad we were able to put that together and show a piece of who I know this team is on Saturday. And now putting that one behind us and moving on to a very good North Texas team, a team that, I think too much of Seth to placate him about the record. But I think what I see on film is a very good football team. I see a dangerous football team with skill all over the place. And a team that's played a great schedule, a really difficult schedule. And I know that it's going to take us preparing the way we did last week and even better to be able to come out here and go 1-0 this week. So that's our challenge. Our challenge is real simple. Prepare the way we know that we need to, go out there and practice in such a way, and then find a way to still go green light on Saturday and give ourselves the best chance to win. So again, with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Open up for questions. Richard, give you first shot. You have a question?
Yeah, hey, Coach, just talk about with Wiley and the fact that he was your game one starter, and then things that happened, injuries and stuff like that. But when his number was called again, how he responded last week.
Yeah, Richard, just so proud because, again, you don't have to talk about him being our game one starter. You can talk about him being our year one starter in this program and all the peaks and valleys we've gone through as a program and Wiley together, like how we've come out the other side a little bit in this game. Meant the world to me. Like there's nobody I would have rather had seen that success. And the fact that he was able to go out there and turn it loose and play the way he's capable of playing in a green light manner meant everything to me. It really did. So again, I think I said it after the game, he put on a quarterback clinic, and that's exactly what he did. He started off the game 1 of 4, and then I think hit something like 16 of his next 18 or whatever the numbers are. I know he had a heck of a day, over a 200 quarterback rating, but more than that, like just his demeanor on the sideline, his ability to communicate with the coaches, and his leadership. Those are the intangibles that Wiley is perfect at. And so when we can get him to relax and play that kind of football, he's going to give us a chance to win every football game.
And what's Jake's status?
I'm sorry?
Jake, what is his health status?
He practiced yesterday in a limited capacity, and we'll see where he is.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Mike, looking forward a little bit at North Texas. Last year it was Dion Noville in the trenches kind of messing y'all up, making things difficult. What do you see out of your O-line protection-wise against UAB? And then how do you game plan for somebody that can be that disruptive?
Yeah, he was more than a little bit disruptive, right? Like he ruined the game for the Rice Owls in the running game and in protection. I believe he ended up being the national player of the week after our game last year. So you can bet we're going to know exactly where old Dion is at all times. He's outstanding, but I do think that we've taken a step forward as an offensive line since that game last year. And I think what you've seen the last couple of weeks is Shea Baker being a lot of one-on-one matchups with noses, whether they were zeroed up or not, and do a great job handling them. So it's going to be a great battle between two very good players. Again, that's why Shea was also an offensive player of the week this week, is because of how he handled the nose at UAB, who I think is an outstanding player. And, it's going to be a great challenge for him this week. And the guy will be lined up off his body more often than on it, but it's the same thing. It'll be Shea going against Dion.
How have you seen that unit progress? It's been up and down throughout the season, whether on the outside or the inside. Are you finally getting to the point where stringing a couple games together where you feel like they've hit their stride, or is there more that we could get from this unit going forward?
Oh, there's definitely more we can get from them. Now, I do think we've had growth week to week, but you're exactly right. There's been a couple games where our tackles played poorly. There's been a couple games where our core played poorly. And in this last one, they were far from perfect. Again, just to be clear, like there were two groups on offense that played different than they had been playing. And that was our wide receiver group, who I think was absolutely outstanding, probably had their best game as a group, blocking, catching the ball, making plays since we've been here, and the quarterback position. Those are the two that were different on offense. Everybody else, there's still a lot to correct, a lot of things we can get better at. But again, they've kind of been, for the most part, pretty solid. And, if you were to assess our offensive line last game, you'd say that 4 out of 5 played winning football, and one of them's got some things to work on.
Any other questions for Coach? All right. Well, thanks, Coach, and we'll bring Wiley
Thank you.
up. All right, Wiley, I'll open it up with a question that obviously you were on the press conference after the game, but now 2 days have passed, and as you sit down, watch the film, and you look back on it, what are your reflections now of everything that happened Saturday?
Yeah, similar to what Coach Bloom said, I thought we started off a little slower than maybe we wanted to. Obviously, going 1 of 4 and a couple misreads early on was a little frustrating, but obviously the way that we turned it around on offense as a whole, we were able to put a couple drives in the box. I finally kind of got in the groove with the receivers, and we were clicking from about that second series on. So obviously there's always a lot to learn from any situation, but pretty proud of the way I played, and hopefully we can continue that into the this next game.
We'll open it up for questions. Brett, I know you'd already asked me. You have a question. You want to kick us off?
Yeah. Hey, Wiley, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right. Well, obviously you've got some connections with with North Texas, with your family. What's it going to be like to play against, North Texas in a place where your dad played soccer and your mom worked in the athletic department?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Obviously, I grew up just down the road in Plano, so I've been around the Mean Green area for a while. My dad played soccer there back in the early '90s. My mom worked there in the late '90s. We've got a lot of ties to the university, but being here at Rice, it's always exciting to get to play University of North Texas. I go back to my redshirt freshman year, and that was one of my first starts. I was against North Texas at North Texas. So obviously that's a pretty cool experience, getting to play them every year and having them on this side of the conference, and hopefully we can go get after them this weekend.
Is it something your parents have, talked to you about or joked with you about this week, playing against their school?
Yeah, a little bit. My dad always messes around with me with it. Obviously him playing soccer there was a big part of that, but we just have a good fun with it. Obviously he's going to be wearing in the navy blue, no doubt, this week. They will not be wearing any green, although our last name says it. It doesn't mean that we'll be wearing it. So that'll be a lot of fun this week. Just really excited to get after it with these guys.
When you were a kid, did you have any experiences of, being around North Texas, being around the athletic department, around the sports teams here?
A little bit, not too much. Obviously, being in the area, you naturally kind of go to games when you can, enjoy those experiences. But I kind of grew up not necessarily cheering for the Mean Green, but cheering for the Aggies down the road, because that's where my dad wanted to go. So if that helps out anything, it doesn't make it too bad. But obviously, being around the program, my mom working there, I got the chance to just be around it when I was really young. She still has friends that work there even later, so we got to go visit them and go to games. So it's always cool getting to play this team, as you know, it's my hometown. But again, just really focused on getting the win and getting these guys going this week.
Thanks, Wiley.
Thank you.
And Wiley, to follow up on what Brett said, I was thinking back, that was your first start, I believe, against North Texas. Didn't play them. You didn't either of the past 2 seasons, and now lining up against them now. Bloom talked about how your journey has kind of been tied with his journey in the program over the last couple of years. How has this team changed since the last time you took the field against North Texas, and what do you like that's different about it?
I think there's so many things you can say that's changed. I mean, 4 years ago was a very different team than who it is today. You look at the guys across the ball, obviously there's still some guys that are still here from that team, Jager, Jordan Myers, and then my entire class. So it's definitely changed, and we've got a lot of young guys coming up that we're really excited about. But at the same time, I just feel like this is a team that is just very confident in what we're doing right now. I know we look back 2 weeks ago and it's a little different story, but I think that really helped grow us into the team who we are today. And hopefully we can continue that going into this next week. But again, that's kind of what we're really focused on, not too worried about the past, and just continuing going 1-0 this week.
So that was your first start?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That was my first start. I think back in 2018, freshman year.
I said, what was the key for flipping the switch? Coach said that was the best game he's seen you play here at Rice. Everybody eat your Wheaties, all wake up to the same song during pregame. Like what worked that y'all can replicate moving forward?
I think of what really worked for us is we talked about having this green light mentality, and that is just not being hesitant, because you care so much about the team that you don't want to mess up, but instead just giving absolutely everything you can every single play, having this green light mentality where you don't worry about the last play, but you're worried about this one. And I think that makes a big difference in our confidence, right? And you go into every play just ready to absolutely give 100%. And even if you are a little bit unsure, you don't worry about it, because you go full speed ahead. Obviously mistakes happen in a football game. You're never going to play a perfect game. But these guys across the field really understand that. And we were able to really attack UAB this weekend.
I felt confident going to the game. I was a general. I had to put us in the right spots and make the calls, and I felt very confident to go in the game.
All right, we'll throw it up for questions.
Hey, Gabe, we chatted last week after practice, I think, and you said on the game plan and everything that you didn't want to be the one guy that messed up and made everybody else look bad. It kind of looked like you did the opposite on Saturday. Did you kind of see maybe a breakout game in the cards for you? What went right? It just seemed like every time that they got the ball, you were there to make the stop.
I've been in film with Coach Spence before the games and stuff like that, and I was just watching film and make sure that I was in the right spot at the right time, the right moment, and when I was there, I had to make a play.
And then I think one of the first games that you got into in your college career was on the road against North Texas. How much have you grown since that game?
I've grown a lot. I didn't think I was really that good last season. We had a month off, and I worked 3 times a day straight with my dad. And right now, I feel like the best shape right now that I've ever been.
How much fun was it in that locker room with the defense after the game, getting that last pass breakup to end it and letting you guys be the ones on the field to secure the win?
And it was the best feeling. Just coming together as a brotherhood. It was the best feeling ever. Of course, last week and the week before that, we couldn't show really what we have our full potential, but everything just came together. We clicked as a unit from start to finish, and hopefully we can do that next week against North Texas.
And then what have you seen from the North Texas offense? Got a couple different playmakers there, wide receiver, running back, got a good quarterback. How do you think y'all match up against them?
We match up very well. They come with the same strategy as last year, spread the offense and make our linebackers in line, fit in the box. But we're very confident going to this week. We trust our scheme, we trust our coaches, and whenever the right moment, we're going to make a play.
Hey, Gabe, you mentioned that you guys, pretty confident and everything, but what was practice like on Monday? I mean, you coming off the big win against UAB. Was everybody just really more, upbeat than they had in other practices? I would mention that you guys were really pumped up.
We were pumped up. All smiles around everybody's faces. We came to practice like usual, ready for this game, and we just want to go 1-0 this week. We're very excited. Our teammates love each other. That's one thing about this team. Our brother is very strong here. We never let our head go down, and we're just ready for this week.